All right, lesson 112, ratio of side lengths of right triangles. This is another great lesson, big favorite of mine. It's going to set up a lesson in a couple days that's even cooler. So here's what we need to know. So if I am given a triangle ABC, we know that if it's a right triangle, there are two legs and a hypotenuse, okay? So the hypotenuse is always the longest side, and it's always the side across from the largest angle. So probably should have this here. All right, so this is a right triangle. So my hypotenuse is going to be across from the right triangle. So here is my hypotenuse. And that means that the other two sides are legs, okay? Really, we need to just make sure that we're able to find and identify the hypotenuse in this lesson, okay? The other two we're gonna have somewhat different names for, all right? So from here, okay, we are going to come up with some ratios, all right, with both the hypotenuse and the other two legs, all right? And so in order to do this, we are going to stand at one of the angles and look at the other two sides, all right, or the other three sides. So if I am standing at angle A, all right, we're gonna have a couple new names here. So we have the hypotenuse, but then the leg that is next to me, right, the leg that is next to me is going to be the adjacent leg. So let's go black. So this is adjacent. The leg that is next to me. The leg that is across from me or opposite of me is going to be the opposite leg, okay? So if I'm standing at A, right, I have an adjacent and an opposite and a hypotenuse, okay? So let's look from perspective A, right? Side BC is what? Well, that would be here. It's opposite. Okay, and side AC, here to here, is the adjacent leg. Now, this can change depending on which angle I'm looking at or looking from, okay? So let's say that I'm now looking from angle B, or from perspective B, okay? So I'm here now. So now this is all going to change, right? So if I'm at B, the leg next to me is no longer opposite, it's adjacent. Okay? So from the perspective of B, BC is adjacent. All right? And then AC isn't adjacent, it's opposite. Okay, so AC is opposite here. The hypotenuse is still the hypotenuse, right? That does not change. All right, so this is all dependent on your perspective, right? So it can change. Okay, so let's do a couple of examples. Here we go. Here's a right triangle, ABC. All right. And I'm given the side lengths. I don't know what's going on here. And I want to find the ratio of sides opposite angle A to hypotenuse. So I'm looking at from angle A. What is the opposite side? That would be here. And my hypotenuse is always going to be across from the right angle and the longest side, so that's here. So what is the ratio of opposite to hypotenuse? Well, that would just be 3 to 5, or I could say 0.6. All right. What is the ratio adjacent angle A to hypotenuse? So again, I'm still at angle A. So what's my adjacent side? It's the one right next to me. So that's here. All right, and my hypotenuse is still there. So what's the ratio adjacent to hypotenuse? that would be 4 to 5 or 0.8. All right, so those are the type of questions you're going to see on this lesson. All right, let's try one more. Gets a little trickier, a little hairier. All right, so I'm given this right triangle, triangle XYZ, and I'm given 5, 5, and 5 as my side lengths, and I'm asked to find opposite angle Z to hypotenuse. So I'm doing the same thing, but opposite angle Z to hypotenuse. Okay, so here's angle Z, opposite angle Z, well, that would be here. Hypotenuse is going to be across from the right angle. Well, what is my hypotenuse? Well, I'll have to find that out, right? And I could do the Pythagorean theorem, but hopefully we recognize that I have a right triangle and the two legs are the same length, meaning that this must be a 45, 45, 90 right triangle. And instead of 1, 1, root 2, it's 5, 5, 5, root 2. So the ratio here is going to be 5 to 5 root 2. Okay, and I can clean this up and say that this is 1 over root 2. All right. Adjacent angle Z to hypotenuse. We'll just change color a little bit. So this is my adjacent side now. All right, and my hypotenuse is still the same, 5 root 2. So it's going to simply be the same. 5 over 5 root 2. I can simplify to 1 over root 2. All right, that's it, fellas. Just making sure that you're keeping straight the opposite side to the adjacent side and labeling your hypotenuse as the longest side across from the right angle, and being careful from which angle you're looking from before you label your opposite and adjacent sides. All right, that's it. Good luck, fellas.